Armenian citizens, and now these completely opaque trials. The Armenians are not pardoned for what they've done. The first thing they've done, apparently, is geographical, interrupting continuity between Azerbaijan and Turkey. And then secondly, religious. They're Christian. The requests put from the Armenian people to the European Union should be heeded. It's up to us as Europeans to decide whether or not we want to treat the Azeris in the same way as we treat the Russians because of how they treat Ukraine. Proper sanctions and demand freedom for these 23 people who are being illegally detained.
François Xavier Bellamy.
Merci, Monsieur le Président, Monsieur le Commissaire. Alors voilà.
Thank you, President. Commissioner, we've reached a summit of indecency. Aliyev attacks Nagorno-Karabakh, attacking a population that just wished to live in peace on its own land that it's been living on for thousands of years now. Aliyev is deporting civilian populations using bombs and armaments and jihadist mercenaries. And after having done that, he's blaming the victims. 23 Armenian prisoners are undergoing a show trial, which recalls the peak of Stalin. And what is Europe doing? Remaining silent. Commissioner, you're responsible for energy. How can you justify the import of gas from Azerbaijan with a specific contract, with the specific provisions contained therein? How can we justify criminals doing heinous acts in Europe and while the gas still flows? Isn't it as bad getting gas from Baku as it is from Moscow? Isn't it the same gas? We await an answer on this, Commissioner.
So we don't have any speaker on KHZI procedures. That's why I will ask Commissioner Jorgensen to take floor.
President, honourable members, like this House, the Commission are following the trials against the 16 Karabakh Armenian defendants that are taking place at the Baku military court since January 17th of this year. We are aware that human rights organizations have expressed concerns over the fairness of the trials and treatments of the accused. Many of you have expressed similar concerns here today. We take these concerns very seriously and are closely following the developments. The right to a fair trial must be ensured and respected. The EU Special Representative for the South Caucasus is also closely following related issues and relaying our concerns to the authorities in Baku. Our relationship with Azerbaijan is founded on principles both sides have committed themselves to. First and foremost, the respect for human rights and the rule of law. The European Union will therefore continue to call on the government of Azerbaijan to abide by its international obligations, which include the rights to due process and fair trial. We will use every opportunity to urge Azerbaijan to ensure dignified and safe conditions for detainees. The reports of torture and ill treatment should be promptly and impartially investigated. The trials of Baku military court touch on the much larger question of achieving lasting and sustainable peace between Armenia and Azerbaijan, of building a peaceful, stable and prosperous South Caucasus. We therefore continue to call on both Armenia and Azerbaijan to build on their achievements and to continue making progress on their path towards full normalization of relations. It is important that the governments of both countries take their societies along on the path. The EU will continue to support this process with all the tools at our disposal. We stand ready to help the parties in their dialogue aimed at achieving lasting and sustainable peace. Honourable members, I am grateful for this House's persistence in drawing attention to the situation in Azerbaijan and the wider region. It is an expression of our shared commitment to human rights and the rule of law as a guiding principle in our engagement with Azerbaijan and other partners around the world. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Colleagues, we are closing debate on this point in agenda. I received 8 proposals for resolution, and vote will take place tomorrow. Before we will go to the next point in agenda, I would like to welcome delegation from the Parliamentary Assembly of Bosnia and Herzegovina, which is participating in a 6th EU-Bosnia and Herzegovina Stabilization and Association Parliamentary Committee meeting. Welcome. This late night, but welcome. Kolēģi, mums nākamais darba kārtības punkts ir komisijas paziņojums.
Thank you. Now we have Commission statement, secessionist threats in Bosnia and Herzegovina and the recent escalation in tensions. I'd now like to give the floor to the Commission and to Commissioner Hansen. Please, you have the floor.